We are just waiting for the archers to come out here, just a little shy of 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And out they come.
Ladies and gentlemen, they are joining us now.
It's incredible Italian performance from Federico Pagoni, who will shoot on target number 2 in this gold medal match, the compound men's individual final, up against the Netherlands' living legend, Mike Schloesser, who is the clear favourite for this gold medal.
The reigning World Cup final champion, Mr. Perfect, Mike Schloesser. And his opponent, shooting on target number 2, representing Italy, Mexico 2017 Team World Championship silver medalist, Federico Pagoni. The line judge for this matchup is Tanvir Ahmed. It's all about the gold medal.
Well, here it is, time for gold. The last on compound Saturday here at stage 2 of the Hyundai Archery World Cup. Fully expecting Mike Schloesser to be here, contending for a place at the World Cup finals and another gold medal at the Hyundai Archery World Cup stage. Going up against a strong, committed, disciplined Federico Pagoni, world number 42, has had a great time this week in Lausanne to find himself in this gold medal match. But he's definitely the underdog, as Mike Schloesser of the Netherlands will get us underway.
Much longer hold on that. You know, the first 3 arrows between the two of them nicely timed, and then a longer hold results in the 9.
10-10-10, and that is a perfect score.
What can you say? Just straight into the middle. 29 for Pagoni. He's not bad either. I mean, a 9 in the middle there, but as you said, Nicky, a slightly longer hold, and that is the difference between very, very, very good and perfection.
Yeah, archery is all about consistency, so, you know, doing the same thing every time, repeatability, and timing is a big factor in that. Want to see, you know, the same hold at full draw for each and every arrow resulting in the same result, especially when it's nice and calm, as it seems to be at the moment for us. So, yeah, just notice that difference, a longer hold and then a 9, so the shot process just wasn't quite the same.
Yeah, well, the final 4 have been, well, it's been fabulous in both the men's and women's disciplines here in Lausanne. The clear favourite is Mike Schloesser here for the gold medal. And a stage win means an automatic place at the Hyundai Archery World Cup finals in Yankton later this year. Atanu Das won the first stage in Guatemala City just a few weeks ago. I think everyone expects Mike Schloesser to be at those finals.
For sure, you know, he's really got to earn his place at this final 4.
Well, 29 from Federico Pagoni, a brilliant score, unless you're up against Mike Schloesser. Gets to put some pressure on, and that's a great first arrow in the second end.
Slightly longer hold. That first shot was lovely and quick, wasn't it? And straight in the X. So a little difference again between those first 2 shots, but a perfect result so far on this end.
Careful, Mike. Just coming outside the X ring there. Brilliant. Really good and very important, not only for his own confidence, but just to show Mike Schloesser he's not going to just run away with this.
10-10-10, perfect score. Wow, that's what it looks like. If you open a dictionary, look up the word perfection. You see a picture of Federico Pagoni.
Well, I mean, it's really very, very high standard, but I think I have to reiterate that point. That perfect from Pagoni is so important, not just because of the score, in fact, not at all because of the score, but because of the effect it will have on his confidence and the additional pressure it puts on Schloesser.
You've got to keep pushing him all the way. You know, if you start dropping points now, Mike Schloesser will just tear away. So putting that pressure on him, we know that Mike can drop points. He dropped 2 in the semi-final, so it's all to play for.
Yeah, and I think the key thing as well is that as time goes on, the closer Pagoni is, or perhaps even ahead against Schloesser, the more pressure Schloesser's going to feel about that place in the World Cup final, because unless you win a World Cup stage, your place is not guaranteed. You're relying on ranking points.
That's right, yeah. I mean, he's going to be fairly high up in the rankings, isn't he? But, you know, to book that ticket and be gone is a sigh of relief.
Well, it removes those shackles, doesn't it? It means you can shoot better through the rest of the season in preparation for what is going to be the double header now in Yankton, the World Championships and the Hyundai Archery World Cup Finals. He's done a good job so far, Federico Pagoni, in keeping the pressure on, still trailing by a single point at the start of end number 3. That's a very long hole, but he's pulled away with a 10.
We can hear the wind, can't we, in the microphones in the stadium there, so it's certainly picked up a bit. You can see that kind of loose cable, if you like, is attached to the Italian's rest, and you can just see that flapping around in the wind a little bit.
Coach happy with that. Beautiful stuff from Pagoni. That's a second perfect in a row. That's number 3 for Mike Schloesser. The quality and standard has remained very high. Both shooting perfects in the second and third ends. This now becomes down to a mistake.
Yeah, Mike has got to keep his wits about him. He can't afford to drop the points that we saw him drop in the semis, so this is fantastic. Federico pushing him all the way here.
He's putting himself in a great position by just clinging on to that 1-point deficit. I think the pressure is going to be felt more on the Dutch side of the shooting line than it will be on the Italian side.
Yeah, just got to stay in the bubble. You know, you can't be thinking as an archer, what's my opponent doing? You know, what's going on the other side of the field? You've just got to stick with yourself in that lane, looking at your target, and do the best of each and every area you can do.
Well, he looks pretty happy, Mike Schloesser, there, having a little bit of a josh with his coach. It's not him mucking around, it's probably part of keeping him settled so he can keep this very high standard going up against the determined Federico Pagoni. A longer hold again, but the result is there for all to see.
The wind's still playing a factor, a little bit of movement. All on the line, but he's going to get the highest score. He's cut the line. Mike just looks so solid, no movement.
Looks like that one's just crept out. It's going to go for a measure, but I think you can see some clear space between the arrow and the line, so I think that will be a 29, and that may be the error, especially with another perfect from Mike Schloesser. 120 out of 120, just 2 drop points from Federico Pagoni. Subject to the measure, I felt I could see a gap between the arrow and the line, though.
Yeah, I thought I could see a little gap as well. So, you know, just such a tiny margin, but that's different to a point, which could be a big, big thing going into this last end.
Yeah, critical. He's having a look himself at this.
122 is game. You look at the number of arrows under the 120, you see the 12. All you need to do when you look
Difficult to hear exactly what the target judge said, but I think it was 10-10-9. The perfect confirmed for Mike Schloesser. Oh, a look there, but I think you can see a bit of yellow there between the bottom arrow on the left-hand side and the line. So that will be a 9, and a 118 playing a 120. Just don't see Schloesser dropping 2 points. But then saying that, he did do it in the semi-final, so it's not over.
He did, but they were on 2 separate ends, so to drop 2 points in one end would be unprecedented.
Well, trailing, as he has done from the very start, Federico Pagoni will be all about putting the pressure on Mike Schloesser in this final end.
9.
That is not the start he wanted. All of a sudden, you can just feel the weight lightening on the shoulders of Mike Schloesser.
10.
Both arrows just dropping a bit low. You know, is he putting the normal power through his shots? Very quick shot there, and another 9.
Not happy with that. Okay. 14 out of 15 10s for Schloesser. Pagoni has, I think, decided that this one has gone. 3 9s to finish off, puts him on a 1-4-5. Ignore 6 to win. This is all about, can we get a perfect 150 here? Oh, so many times has that happened to Mike Schloesser. He shot 140 out of 140, 14 10s in a row, and then something happens on the last arrow, and he drops it into the 9. But an exceptional performance to shoot a 149 in the final. Mikey Schloesser has taken the gold here in Lausanne, and he booked his place at the World Cup Finals in Yankton later on this year.